Nando's is a 6-bedroom guest house located in the heart of Stratford-upon-Avon, but it's in trouble. For 8 happy years, Kate and John Morris were employed as Nando's managers. It gave them a regular income and a decent living. But when the owners decided to sell, Kate and John saw the chance to realise a dream. They put everything they had on the line, bought the place and became their own bosses.
Hello, Nando.
But all hasn't gone to plan.
Owning it instead of managing it, we found a hell of a lot more stressful. My God.
I would say owning the guest house is probably 24/7.
Taking on Nando's was a big commitment. They had to sell the family home, get a £90,000 mortgage, and in order to free up more rooms, moved lock, stock and barrel into the basement of the B&B. But for all their financial commitment, Nando's is just not paying off. Surrounded by stiff competition, they're not getting enough guests, and Kate and John are stuck in a nightmare of debt and worry. If they can't make a go of the business, they risk losing their home and their livelihood in one fell swoop.
We have really, really struggled. We have put every single penny we've had into this place. Now it's all ours. We have to make a living at it, and it has cost us an absolute fortune.
Enter Ruth Watson, award-winning hotelier, best-selling author and acclaimed cook. Ruth has been running hotels successfully for over 20 years and is renowned for her ability to turn a business round, which is just what Kate and John hope she can do with Nando's.
Everyone thinks they can run a guest house, but it takes more than a welcoming smile to make a profit. You have to be disciplined, rigorous, and run a really tight ship.
We are putting our souls on the line here, and I can't believe that I'm prepared to go and be criticised by somebody for doing all the hard work that we do. You're doing all 4 of those together, yeah?
Yeah, the 3 want bacon and egg. All 3 want 2 eggs.
No, sorry, that's 3 rashers, 2 eggs. And I'm absolutely, totally terrified.
Will Ruth be able to get their house in order?
Absolutely fucking filthy.
And will they be able to cope with her exacting standards?
It's like living with Anne Robinson for a few days.
Stratford-upon-Avon, Shakespeare country and an English mecca for the tourist. In and around the town, over 200 hotels and guest houses jockey for position. Competition is tough, but with more than 5 million visitors a year, there should be plenty to go round. So Ruth has come to investigate why this traditional B&B isn't making a killing.
So I'm in Stratford-on-Avon on a really busy street trying to find this guest house, Nando's. There's 2 marvellous guest houses here with 4 diamonds apiece and fabulous gardens. They certainly know how to do floral work. Ah, look what we have here. Now, isn't that just the worst sign you've ever seen in the world? Cracked, broken, dodgy name. Certainly not a come-on compared to the other B&Bs in this street. Anyway, I'm going to give it a chance. Hello. Hi, I'm Ruth, and you must be Kate.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Hello,
Hi.
I'm very pleased to meet you.
And you too.
Do come in.
Yeah?
Okay.
Are we going to have a little chat about things? In
Yes,
your
that's fine. Would you like to come into the dining room?
Yeah, it'd be
I'm going to
great.
get John.
Yes, OK. Where do you feel that you need some help?
Every single penny that we have, we're putting back into the guest house, really.
Yeah. And do you feel that you're not getting enough pennies in?
Yes, I think we need to have our diamond rating. You know, if people see an advertisement with us with no diamonds and next door with 3 or 4, who are they going to go to? It just makes sense, doesn't it?
What do you feel that you need to do to get those diamonds?
Well, I think the beds all need changing. I think the decor, the furnishings, the accessories.
It might be cheaper to buy a new bed and breakfast.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
We've got to meet the kind of standards that the guides, whether it's the AA guide or the English Tourist Board or whatever, the standards they exact, we've got to meet them.
Yes.
So you feel that furnishing...
It's clear to Ruth that the biggest priority is to get Kate and John a diamond rating. They desperately need to bring more money into the business, but if they can't win a rating, the guests just won't come, and they'll never be able to raise their prices. The Diamond Rating Scheme demonstrates what kind of quality guests can expect from a B&B or guest house, and it's based on standards of cleanliness, hospitality and service. Secret inspections are carried out to judge guest houses and check that the standards are maintained. Only the very best receive the top score of 5. Getting those coveted diamonds is all about detail, and one detail that badly needs attention at Nando's is the sign. Not only is it old and ugly, but the name is sending out all the wrong signals. Before she even thinks about inspecting the bed and breakfast and sorting out the rooms, Ruth decides to tackle this problem head on.
We're going to go down into town with that ratty old sign, and we're going to park here in the middle of the high street, and we're going to ask passers-by what they think about it.
I hope you're joking. I'm not. God.
What do you think about the name?
Doesn't sound English.
Mexican, anything but English.
Yeah, OK. To B&B in Stratford. Is that what you thought it would be?
No, I thought it was the chicken restaurant.
Chicken restaurant.
Exactly.
Is this really a private car park or something?
Bistro.
Yeah. OK.
The red light district of Stratford.
What about the state of the sign?
Oh, well, it looks dreadful.
Right.
They can't take care of the sign, they're not going to take care of the premises, are they?
I would think the rooms would be sort of fairly grotty.
Tell me that it's a run-down guest house.
Right.
Can you recommend anywhere else?
So the Nando's name conjures up images of fried chicken and foreign restaurants, and the quality of the sign sends out alarmingly seedy signals. It's definitely time for a change. With their sign condemned to the skip, Kate and John eventually decide on the altogether more appropriate name of Forget-Me-Not and place an order for a brand new name board.
Oh, 3 rashes.
3 rashes.
Just over a year ago, Kate and John Morris sold their family home, borrowed £90,000 and bought Nando's, a 6-bedroom guest house in Stratford-upon-Avon. But they're not attracting enough guests and have yet to see a return on their investment.
We have really, really struggled. We have put every single penny we've had into this place, and it has cost us an absolute fortune.
To be able to compete with surrounding B&Bs, Nando's, soon to be renamed Forget-Me-Not, desperately needs a diamond rating. A diamond rating would bring in more customers and some much-needed extra income. Kate and John are hoping that acclaimed hotelier Ruth Watson can show them how.
Very pleased to meet you.
And you too.
Ruth's decided to send Kate and John off for a night in a 4-diamond rated guest house so they can see where they're going wrong with Nando's.
Would you like help with luggage?
Fine, thank you.
No, we're fine, thank you.
I'll show you the room.
Travelling lights, is it?
And while they're off at their award-winning guest house, Ruth will begin a thorough inspection of their B&B.
I just happened to have noticed a hair grip on the floor here, which is not very lovely. Housekeeping needs to be looked at. And so does the pictures. Look at them, they're all completely wonky. It's bad enough putting polythene on it anyway, but it's ripped polythene. What is all that about? Bathroom. There's no shelving in this place whatsoever. There's absolutely nowhere to put anything down. We've got really badly damaged woodwork and we've got a rusty radiator here. This is not the most gorgeous bathroom in the world, I have to say.
When they apply to be rated, an inspector will go through much the same process as Ruth, with a focus on cleanliness, facilities and guest care, and food quality. Top of the list is cleanliness. If a guest house isn't clean, then it won't even be rated, and it needs to be nothing short of spotless to achieve top marks.
This is really manky kettle, and how long has this water been in here? Oh, this is an interesting one. Can't fill the kettle. How do people fill the kettle?
Over at Moonraker, standards are radically different.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoy your stay with us.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Lovely. Oh, this looks rather nice, doesn't it?
Very nice. Nicely decorated.
Makes a big difference,
It
doesn't
does.
it?
Wallpaper-wise, certainly.
A table.
Little coffee table.
Surprising what you can get in a small little room, isn't it, really? That does make a big difference. Seeing Nando's, we would have probably put another bed in there.
The Moonraker's gleaming bathroom can't fail to impress Kate and John.
Whew. That makes a big difference, doesn't it?
It does.
It's all tiled.
Tile.
It looks very nice. Yeah, that shows ours up a bit,
Right
doesn't
on
it?
the floor.
Oh, yeah.
But at Nando's, it's a very different story.
Good to be a bit clean around the hinges there. This is really, really manky on this toilet roll thing. It hasn't been ever cleaned, I don't think.
So there's a big problem with cleanliness. The rooms need completely redoing. The second key factor to determine a diamond rating is guest care and facilities, and guest information in the rooms is a definite plus. In the 4-diamond room, they've got this covered.
Welcome pack.
Lovely little book, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, it's nicely set out.
Very nice. Well, it's just professional, isn't it?
That's right.
That's something we really could do with, isn't it?
Yes.
That is really impressive.
Indeed, they could. At Nando's, there's nothing. But welcome packs are not the only things that are missing. Guest care is also about the overall look of the place, and Nando's is not creating a good impression.
This is the breakfast room, and it's pretty grim. If you look at this table, which is not gorgeously laid out, and these horrendous chairs, absolutely horrendous. It's very cramped, pink paper napkins. It just looks sort of rather cheap. It's not somewhere where you'd think, oh God, I'm going to go get my breakfast there.
It's certainly got an ambience that we haven't got, I think. She charges £75 a night for this bedroom. Well, we don't charge anything like that. We charge about 50, don't we?
Yes.
And so obviously they're getting more money for their rooms because they're done so much nicer.
As day breaks, all is not well at Nando's.
It's about 6 o'clock in the morning, waking up what feels like every 15 minutes because what started out as being a mattress that felt a little bit soft and unsupportive but not intolerable has turned out to be horrendously unsupportive and completely intolerable. It's not a great mattress, it needs to be replaced. I've had a dreadful night.
Good morning, campers. Well, it's about 8:30 in the morning now, and we've had a bitty night's sleep, haven't we?
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with the actual bed. The bed was so comfortable. But we got so much stuff whirring around in our heads, and we were chatting until quite late last night, and so we haven't really slept very well.
Going down to breakfast in a minute, aren't you?
Yeah, so what that's like. I'm sure it'd be absolutely gorgeous. Oh, this looks nice. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Lovely.
Can I get some tea or coffee?
Tea, please. Tea, please. So we do all these, but we don't pop it down in the menu, do we?
Certainly not.
Food quality is the next big area that will come under close scrutiny by an inspector.
So what's the jams there? Marmalade and honey. Oh, wow, I think I'll have a bit of that. That looks absolutely beautiful.
Very well presented.
Oh, it's
For a higher diamond rating, the use of homemade preserves or local produce is encouraged. So what will Ruth encounter at Nando's?
So we've got a real contradiction in terms here because we've got our honey is pure, natural and set not to clear, which is really nice. That's a great message. I love it. And then we've got these little plastic packets of jam. And I don't understand that because I'm getting a very mixed message from that. One is like homely and good and the other one is mass market industrial. Very strange.
Makes our little sachets look a bit sick, doesn't it?
Certainly does.
It certainly makes you realise how plain, I think, plain is the word, Nando's is really. Is that their full English breakfast, is it?
Yes.
We put beans on ours and hash browns, don't we?
Is everything all right with your breakfast?
Yes, lovely,
Lovely,
thank
thanks.
you. Yeah, great, thank you very much.
Whilst Kate and John are enjoying the rare luxury of being waited on hand and foot, Ruth road tests the Nando's house brekkie.
Hot dishwasher. So
So I've got 3 huge rashers of bacon. I don't know whether this is normal. It's nice and crisp, which is good. The bacon tastes fine. The egg is a bit desperate around the edges. We've got a bit of frazzly stuff going on here, which actually I personally quite like. I'm going to try these mushrooms, which look slightly dodgy, I have to say. They look very greasy. They taste better than they look. Anyway, this is perfectly adequate. I don't think it's amazing, but it's fine.
So, although the quality of the food is all right, the presentation can be improved. After their 4-diamond experience, how do Kate and John think their own guest house compares?
Well, we're very impressed with the bathroom. I absolutely loved it.
What did you like about it?
I loved the cleanliness of it, the look of it.
I mean, it was actually sparkling, wasn't it?
Yes,
did you notice?
Was.
It literally
was, yes.
sparkled.
With the white tiles reflecting back on the light, it was sparkling, and that was very impressive, I thought.
Yeah.
It looked very nice.
And the breakfast experience has also left an impression.
I must say, I did like the presentation.
Yeah.
I like their teapots and their silver little bowls. I like their little pots of marmalade and jams and honeys. And I noticed that on their menu, they specified everything they do. We do the same, but we don't actually specify that we do it.
No, you've got to do that. It's one of the real basic rules is if you do something, you've got to tell the customer you do it.
Yes.
Because they shouldn't be having to find out from you that you do it. You've got to push it in their face. This is what we do. As a roundup to all that, you came back, did you feel depressed about what you do here? Or did you feel energised?
Absolutely gutted.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah.
Ruth's investigation has shown up some very obvious areas that need improvement. First is cleanliness. Nando's standards aren't good enough. There needs to be much more attention paid to the details. Secondly, the general design and furniture need upgrading. An ugly dining room, uncomfortable beds, and tatty furniture simply won't do. Thirdly, Kate and John need to supply the guests with more information. A welcome pack is therefore essential. First on the list is cleanliness, and before confronting Kate with the evidence, Ruth wants to see firsthand how the cleaning girls operate.
Do you normally start with the bed and then work off from that?
Yeah, and then I'll do the room, and Zoe will go into the bathroom.
Do the bathroom.
Right.
But Kate will check the rooms after.
Right.
To make sure, and then she'll tell us if we've forgotten anything. But normally we haven't.
Okay. I've had a chance to observe the girls cleaning the rooms, and they're doing them incredibly meticulously. In fact, it's so bloody meticulous that I suspect very strongly that Kate's put them up to it, because we've seen them lifting up beds to hoover underneath them, and I have my doubts about whether that's what they do normally. The thing is, however well they're cleaning the rooms today, what we need to see is them cleaning that well every day. And I have strong suspicions that that doesn't normally happen.
The performance of the cleaners doesn't match up with the poor standards of cleanliness in the rooms. It's time for a few home truths.
So, Kate, this is the room I was staying in.
Yes.
While you were over at Moonraker.
Yes.
First of all, I mean,
That is awful. It's
horrible. Even if it wasn't chipped, it would still look manky.
Yeah.
Now, I want you to look to your right, and I want you to explain this horrendous chair with the plastic on it. Tell me what this is all about.
That's awful. You're quite right, yeah. I know I left it, but I should have taken
And
it
you know
off.
what makes it more awful is the fact the plastic's torn.
Awful, yes, okay.
It is. Come
Yeah,
on.
I
It's
do
shit.
agree.
It is. It really is.
I do agree, yeah. I'd never really thought about it, to be perfectly honest. And it's not until you point it out that
But
you
that's
realise
what
it does look
I'm here for,
tacky, yes.
to point things
Yes.
out, and B, to get you to see it from a customer's eyes.
Yes.
Things like this door, that just completely
Ruins it.
sends
Yes,
the wrong
it
message
does.
out. Most English, and I use the words advisedly, they don't complain about things, right? What they will do is say, not that great, won't come back. They won't actually talk to you about it. You've got to really work out in your brain if you want true, genuine quality.
Yes,
right?
I do.
The sort that an inspector would appreciate.
Yes.
You've got to get the standard up, to meet that. You can't have an aspiration and a desire to get better without acknowledging that something is wrong to begin with.
I agree with that. Yeah. Well, that's why you're here.
But it's not just the cleaning that needs to change. Second on Ruth's list is the decor. Ruth has already got some ideas on how to improve the bedrooms, but first she wants to tackle the dining room. She wants to create a light and airy, clutter-free room that will make the breakfast experience one to savour. She wants to change the furniture, lay a new floor, update the soft furnishings and paint the walls a brand new colour.
One of the things when we're planning a room is to make sure things physically work, okay? So what I've done here is I've done to scale a plan of this room. So the first thing I did was to go with this table. It's a nice looking table, which is very much 2 people tables. Okay?
Yes.
That covers your 12, stroke 14 people or whatever.
Yeah.
This is what I'm proposing. The cereals could go in this during the day as well. The other nice thing about it is it's not too deep, so it's not going to stand out too far in the room, but it's deep enough. So you could put things on there at breakfast time, then tidy them away, and you use that top, during the day for people checking in, checking out, what have you. You've got a work surface. Flooring. What we need to do is to not have it exactly the same as the tables and chairs, because if it all matches, everything sits on the floor. It falls into the floor, and you get this kind of like indeterminate sort of, wood look. So we want to have a bit of a contrast with the colour there.
Right.
They've got some look-alike slate stuff, which isn't real slate, but it looks like slatey, like very dark charcoal grey, which is another kind of look that wood looks good on. Okay. Okay. Now, originally, when I was thinking about this, is that I knew you wanted white walls. What if we actually go to one of more these kinds, still pale, but one of these?
Personally, I can't really see how things work together very well.
I think you need to trust me on this, that it would look very pretty.
Yes. I think I'm going to have to, Ruth, to be perfectly truthful.
The last item on Ruth's list is a welcome pack like the one that so impressed Kate and John at the 4 Diamond Guest House. They must get this pack together and into the bedrooms as soon as possible.
I've left Kate and John at Nando's, soon to be Forget-Me-Not. I've given them a number of tasks that I want them to fulfil. They're really, really lovely people, and they're doing the best they can, but I have to say, I find Kate slightly frustrating because she will agree with everything I say. A, I'm not used to that, and B, I'm slightly suspicious about it because she always says that, yes, she knows about that problem, and I kind of want to say, well, if you know about it, why aren't you doing anything about it? So it's going to be quite fun to see whether they get things sorted or not.
If Kate and John want to get their diamond rating, then they'll need to get a move on and start tackling the jobs on Ruth's list. She's booked an official inspector to check them out in 6 weeks' time, so they need to get the cleanliness issues sorted, that dining room overhauled, the bedrooms upgraded, and have a welcome pack in place before the real hotel inspector arrives. Kate and John Morris own the struggling Nando's, a guest house in Stratford-upon-Avon, soon to be renamed Forget-Me-Not. Competition is tough, and they are the only B&B on their street that has no official tourist accreditation. They desperately need a diamond rating, so they've asked expert hotelier Ruth Watson to come along and help them. But not everything she's had to say they've wanted to hear.
This place is not as clean as you think it is.
Right.
Toilet roll holder, filthy. Down by the side of the loo, not clean.
If one guest doesn't come back because they've spotted a little bit of, grime behind a soap dish, then I would be mortified.
Yeah.
If Kate and John can get themselves a diamond rating, it should bring more money in and make the business profitable. Ruth has set them a number of tasks to complete that will raise their standards, and with only 3 weeks to go before they're officially inspected, she drops in unannounced to check on progress. But it appears that nothing has changed.
Hello. Hi, John. How are you doing?
Not so bad, how are you?
I'm fine, but I want to ask you a few leading questions. When I left you last time, there were some tasks.
Ruth's list of changes including improving cleanliness, giving the breakfast room a complete makeover, upgrading the bedrooms, and creating a guest welcome pack. But nothing has been done. They haven't even taken on the simplest of Ruth's jobs. The guest welcome pack hasn't even been started.
That ain't been done.
No, we haven't done that yet.
No? Why not?
No.
It's getting them, isn't it?
Why not?
You don't get them from somewhere, you make them up.
No, you've got to get the folder first.
Yeah?
Yeah, we've had a look, but because we need so many...
stationers in Stratford?
Yeah, but because
they're
we need
not
so many...
all together, they're not all together that good.
I think we're probably looking for something too fancy or too nice.
Yeah.
We've been very busy though, haven't we? That's our problem. We've been very busy.
I need to feel that you are really, really serious about doing these things. And I wanted to come back and you say, look, I've done this and look, I've done that. Not good intentions. I want to see things actually happening. A lot of talk and not so much do, right? I am bullying you because that's the only way to progress. All right, well, I will catch up with you a bit later.
Okay.
Okay.
I've just heard from Kate and John about how many of the tasks they've done, and frankly, it's none of them. And I'm slightly disappointed, to say the least, and I felt I was getting a bit of excuses about various reasons why not, and some of them probably justified, but not all of them. And I said it to them, and I say it here, that, you know, they've actually got to do something. It's not just going to happen by magic.
Ruth is a really nice lady, but she terrifies me. I never know what she's going to say next. And most of what she's saying, of course, is true. She can be very fierce, and I'm not used to that, and quite aggressive, and I find that quite difficult. But she's just doing the job that she's got to do. And I just sort of stand in the background, Karen.
Frustrated with Kate and John's excuses, Ruth drags Kate off to the shops to get the ball rolling on the very simple issue of that welcome pack.
Now, there's two ways of looking at this.
Yes.
One, it's like the pockets to hold things like maps and things that other people give you.
Yes.
But I'm thinking more in terms of you doing some typewritten pages about where's the local doctor,
That's
how
right,
you
yes.
get round the
Yes.
corner to the theatre,
Yes.
you know, whether you're open for breakfast from this time to
Yes.
the other, what your phone number is, you know, those kind of bits and
Yes.
pieces. So
Yes.
should we have a little dig through and see what
Yes.
we can come up with? Ah, this is it. This is it. Clamp binders. Put the pages in there, your A4 pages, and then you just clamp it down. The nice thing about it is that you can then have your front page. You can have a decorative page. You could have photograph. You could have the forget-me-not, you know, with your information.
Yes.
So although it looks clear here and a bit kind of boring and basic, it doesn't have to look like that in the rooms.
No.
And then it's not nice enough for people to want to steal, and they will.
Yes, I think that's what John was worried about.
Yeah. And equally, if it does start to get a bit rucked up, it's not so expensive that you can't come and replace it. As I say, if you're getting them home, John hates them, I'll have them.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he won't. Do you know where we've been?
We've been shopping.
We've been shopping.
Oh, right.
Ruth's done some very good pointers. It's not what I would have realised that we needed, but Ruth says this is perfectly adequate, so that the page is just nicely clipping in there, put a little bit of information there.
It's clean, you can also wipe it.
It's functional. It's not gorgeous. £1.79, wasn't it? Something,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Yeah, that much.
It's better than nothing anyway.
Yes,
Yeah.
well, exactly.
Yeah. Beginning of next
So that's one job finally underway, but with the clock ticking, Ruth decides to use shock tactics. Kate and John need to be caught off guard to see what would happen if a real inspector came unannounced. She sent in a fake guest armed with a secret camera to check on cleanliness.
The thoroughness with which the girls who come in and clean were doing the room when I came by didn't mirror what happened in my bedroom and the level of cleanliness. So I've sent somebody in to see what really happens when the film isn't rolling. So I'm just going to play this tape and have a look and see the truth.
Hello, hi.
Hello, gorgeous, very well.
Sorry, we're having our supper in here, do you mind? Smells a bit fish and chips.
Now, that welcome was a bit dodgy because there was sort of fish and chips going on.
On the surface, it all looked pretty spick and span. It's all rather nice in here. I don't know if you can see this, but this is all dog hair and lots of dust, which is really lovely.
Dog hair and dust.
I don't know if you can see there. Just a little hair still sitting in the bottom of the basin.
Even when you've cleaned really well, you have to look back again because quite often a stray hair has fallen back in. It's a real problem, and my secret filmer here has found one in the basin. It's so off-putting.
Yeah.
This is just horrid. This is grime around the edge of the shower.
That just there is the previous occupant's body hair.
That's just horrid. I suspect that soap dish hasn't been cleaned at all.
You can just about see the remnants of the previous occupants' dinner on its way out.
Not good. Not even a clean lavvy. This is not good. Lavvies have got to be spotless.
Not really a sign of good hygiene, really, is it?
If the inspectors from the various guides see dirt, that's going to mark her down colossally, and she really has got to face up to this problem.
Ruth reveals to Kate that she has been secretly filmed and confronts her with the ugly truth. She has to raise her game, or she can forget about achieving a decent diamond rating.
That person who came, who took the film, could easily have been the inspector. Those people who come to rate you can turn up at any time. I'm afraid the bathrooms particularly were still not clean.
Oh dear.
Apart from things down here which we need toothbrushes and getting in on these cabinets, right? Much more important than that, and very, very easy to do, and what they're not doing is, look, that is absolutely
it's
fucking
dreadful.
filthy.
It is, it's terrible.
It's filthy. And that's not
It's
a
not
day.
just a day.
Look.
No, it isn't. That's bloody heartbreaking. It isn't. You're
But
right.
Kate, do you not come and look at that work?
I do check them, but you see a day. I know. That is terrible.
It's just all dirty. And this shower head, I mean, it's
I know why it's
disgusting.
like it.
Why?
Because Andy was doing the ceiling and the room hasn't been used since.
This is nothing to do with the ceiling. This is actually...
That's awful.
I mean, you know... Every inspector is going to pick
That
that
is
up,
awful.
not to mention any customer. The bottom line, Kate, is all of these bathrooms... They should... When you go into a guest bathroom in a hotel or what have you, you really need to feel that nobody's ever been in there before, right? This is the first time. It's almost like it's come out of the showroom. It's the first time. You don't want to find any traces of anyone else's occupancy. It's a kind of absolutely golden rule. Round the back of this loo, it's filthy. And again, it may well be that you haven't used this room, but that is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, but he's
round
had
the
all the
back there.
floorboards up this morning and it hasn't been cleaned at all.
I know, but round the back here, that's nothing to do with floorboards. There's hairs and bits and pieces and grime and grop, and that should be completely spotless round there. It's the biggest turn-off for anybody is dirty bathrooms and loos. I mean, it just is. You know, it's a fact. What I think you need to do with the girls who clean for you is I think you need to take them round to every single room and physically show them what you want done. Don't stand in the kitchen and tell them, actually physically show them what you want done.
Right.
And one of the things that you've got to get them to do, because this is, again, a golden rule, is people clean from the position of standing up and leaning over. It's normal, it's natural. What they have to do is to look down at the things on the floor and in the corners, what have you, and they have to look up. So things like if there's moths or dead animals in the lighting, they need to look up. Now, the other thing is always looking at how the person uses the room. So if there was a bath, you'd lie in the bath and look at it. If you're sitting on the loo, get them to sit on the loo and see where the eye line is, because that's what the customer's doing. These air extractors in bathrooms are absolutely classic dirt traps, right? You've got to get in there with a toothbrush, and that's got to be done on a weekly basis.
Right, yeah.
Right? And this loo has not been used, and there is a little hair thing there.
Right, yeah.
Okay? I suggest you spend a whole day just coming around with toothbrushes and make sure the girls do things like the top of the tiling here as well.
Right,
okay? You've got to really change the way you go about things. You know, really change them on an absolutely permanent, day-to-day basis. It's absolutely
No,
your
I
choice.
want to be in the tourist board. That is really important to us here. Really important to me.
That's why you have to lift your game if you're really going to achieve those ratings consistently.
The secret filming seems to have done the trick. Shocked by Ruth's revelations, Kate and John finally get their act together. Realising that they only have a few weeks left to get the B&B ready for inspection, they start to do some real work.
It's a good job Zoe's there, because I've lost the plot already this morning. I don't know what's going where or who's doing what.
Failure to make the grade could ultimately mean the failure of the business, so the guest house is being turned upside down.
There, look at this.
First on the list is that tatty breakfast room. Kate and John have a new colour scheme to think about.
Well, I can't see a difference in the two, you know. Bearing in mind,
That one's
bearing in
more-
mind I am colourblind. So.
Oh, wow, that makes a big difference, doesn't it? That one is more violety.
Right.
And this one is more sludge coloured. You know, that sort of...
Sludge?
No, you know what I mean.
No, I like it. I like the shade. You see, you're not a shade person, are you? You ain't?
No, John, no.
Off-white. Or white.
Yeah. That's my taste, though, isn't it?
Magnolia.
No.
Yes.
No, I wouldn't say magnolia. I'm not a magnolia person. I would
really
say
like
I'm
that.
more, you know, I don't know.
Boring colours.
We've got to make a combined choice here. You know, we each have an equal say in this.
So what do you want?
That one.
Right, that's it then.
The room is having a complete revamp. The old furniture is on the way out and a new floor is on the way in.
Oh my God. I don't want it particularly light. I don't like light. And I don't want it particularly dark. I don't like dark. What about something like that?
Kate and John are investing a lot of money to bring their guest house up to the grade. But if they can win the diamond rating they crave, they'll be able to increase their room rate substantially.
I've just relayed the floor in the warehouse. You can't tell unless you get loads together, can you?
You haven't got time for rest. It's decisions.
Too red, too brown, that's too like the chair,
Try it.
too blonde.
Too blonde. You're decisive, but it takes you so long to sort the job out that I'll get a bit bored.
I
of
know you do,
walking round.
darling, but the thing is, if I see something, I instinctively know it's right.
I know. I trust you. It's 28 years of that. So
You know?
yeah, you got
I
it
know
right.
if something's not right, and that's why I did her about a bit. I tell you one thing,
What's that?
Ruth is without doubt right. That chair looks beautiful on that floor.
Final decision. Do you think? Yes.
Yes.
We're going to go for it. Trust Ruth.
Yes.
Deal done then. Come on, we'll go.
See you with a kiss.
God, women.
With the floor taken care of, next to be replaced are those old, uncomfortable beds.
Oh, God, I can't wait to get rid of them beds. Absolutely over the moon. I'm so excited.
It's a good idea to get rid of all these beds for the simple reason is they have been in here quite a long while.
And I don't want a load of beds being thrown out and then suddenly finding that I'm missing two and think, oh, my God, where am I going to get two beds from?
Kate skipping something will be quite unique, I'll tell you now. You'll be surprised. We'll be throwing it in, she'll be fetching it back out again, so...
When you're a hoarder and a bit of a clutterer, you have to keep all the bits. You come back in a year, they'll probably still be here. Right.
The transformation of the guest house is almost complete, but until now, one key part of the makeover has been missing.
Oh, wow! It's fantastic!
That was really close enough. Nice, isn't it?
Is it on both sides, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, it's beautiful.
The B&B, formerly known as Nando's, is now officially Forget-Me-Not.
The Queen doesn't have this trouble. God bless this guest house and all who sleep in her.
Drum roll!
So it seems like Kate and John have finally sprung into action. With only 7 days to go before the official inspection, will they be ready in time, or will their attention to detail let them down again? Ruth Watson has been trying to bring Kate and John's B&B up to scratch so they can qualify for a diamond rating. They're due a visit from an official hotel inspector to see if they meet the required standards. So Ruth's back to double-check that they're going to make the grade. The first area where Ruth wanted to see an improvement was cleanliness, and things are looking good.
That's actually fine. That's good, because that one thing people don't do is tops of lights.
Yeah,
And you've got rid of that horrid rusty radiator, which is good.
Yeah.
Next on the list was that dismal dining room, and there's been a total transformation. The clutter has disappeared and it's now clean, stylish and much more spacious, with plenty of room for diners even when they're full to capacity. There's a nice new area to check in and fresh flowers complement the pretty new blinds. And the tacky sachets and tired furniture have gone to be replaced by an altogether more elegant and welcoming look.
Good stuff, yeah. No, I think it's a huge improvement.
Thirdly, the tired bedrooms needed a lift and all the fixtures and fittings needed attention. Now all the uncomfortable mattresses have been replaced and the rooms have changed dramatically. They're now bright, light, with fresh new towels and lots of comforting little touches. And the en-suites are finally sparkling with freshly painted woodwork, new flooring and shiny new fittings.
One of the biggest thrills is not seeing that torn plastic on the pink chairs. Fabulous, that's really good.
And finally, Kate and John needed to create a welcome pack for every room.
Looks nice, looks sharp. Don't forget again, look, great, marvellous. You've done all this what to see. That's super duper.
Pleased with what she's seen, Ruth leaves Kate and John to a nervous wait. They have no idea on what day the inspector will turn up. The inspector will check in under an assumed name, spend the night, have breakfast and check out. Only the next day will they reveal their true identity and demand to inspect the rest of the hotel thoroughly. It could happen at any time, so Kate and John will need to maintain standards constantly. D-Day has finally dawned. Kate and John don't know it yet, but the inspector stayed over last night. Will they have passed the test? Ruth's back to find out.
Hello.
Morning officially.
Morning.
Morning. Can I give you my card? I'm actually your AA hotel inspector.
Right, hello.
Nice to meet you properly.
When we inspect hotels or guest houses, we're looking for really three key things. We're looking for a great warm welcome with fabulous hospitality and service, really clean rooms, and a real effort to make it a special stay.
Shelves are fairly standard in all of the rooms?
Yes.
OK, that's super. If we could go on to the next room, that would be
Yeah,
lovely.
sure.
I mean, really what we're obviously looking for is evidence of deep cleaning and making sure that everything as people would like to find it as they come in. OK, that's super. If I can just go through and have a look through in the bathroom.
After scrutinising the guest house from top to bottom, it's time for the inspector to reveal her verdict.
Super. You're really hospitable, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for people to want to come and stay with you because you go the extra mile. I think the other key strength for me was breakfast. It was a good choice. It was really nicely presented and hot. You've got a lovely room here, and even when it, is a little bit more overcast, it's a smashing room, and people can feel comfortable. All of the conserves and the jams and the little spoons, it just said, this is not ordinary. This is something that's different. My recommendation is to award 3 diamonds. And I haven't got a spare tissue. And I'm delighted to say that, slightly out of the norm, we're actually going to present you with your diamond plaque today, a couple of weeks early. But you have to stop sobbing, that's the deal.
Thank you so much. I wouldn't have been able to do it without Ruth, of course.
You're making me cry, though. And you've got to keep cleaning. The best bit was her saying that the housekeeping was marvellous. I tell you, I'm so thrilled about that.
I never thought I'd see the day. I didn't. That just makes us comparable with everyone else.
Absolutely.
And that's what I've wanted. I might give you a kiss in a minute.
There's something to look forward to. We'll just keep giving it to you.
So that's what it's been. No sex for the last year.
Until you get 3 diamonds.
3 diamonds. Now you're going to get a good lay tonight, John.
But it'll get rated.
There's something to look forward to. Giving it to you.
Well, Kate and John have got their 3 diamonds, and I couldn't be more pleased for them. I have to say I had real doubts when I first came. There was such disorder, chaos. Kate was a bit too much full of the bullshit. I really had doubts that they could actually get a professional stance on things. And I think it's huge credit to them that they have done that thing. They've taken on board lots of suggestions, and especially the cleanliness, so important. They've taken them on board, they've done something about it, and they've got their just reward, and I'm thrilled. You know what they say? If you've got it, flaunt it.
It's been a good experience. I wouldn't never want to do it again, but it's been a good experience, and I'll definitely learn from it, and we will keep it up.
Thank you.
Sorry. Feels like I've had a medal.
4 months on, Kate and John have seen a serious upturn in business. There's been much more passing trade, and they've been able to put their prices up by as much as 20%. After 2 years as owners, Kate and John are now finally making a profit.